Artist is like one of the most important cards in the mirror anyway.
Yep.
As we see, Nick Vincent has what looks to be a dominating board position. If all of those things are in play, like near the top of the screen.
Yeah, I see that we have a Grouse Messenger. Is that a Mimic Vat? I think.
Looks like
Does
a more.
someone have a Mimic Vat?
Yeah,
your guy has a sideboarded Mimic Vat, so we must be in game 2, which means Nick
is
is making Grouse Messengers with his Mimic Vat.
I have a Mimic Vat?
You do have a Mimic Vat.
Are you jealous?
A little bit. Yep. That card is actually like really mean in zombie mirrors, what with the ability to stop Undying triggers and hold Gravecrawler on ice for a little while.
How could you not be jealous, honestly? Mimic Vat, as we come in, he's like, yeah, I'm dead. Mimic Vat's too much.
We're not quite sure if that was game 2 with Nick going 2-0 or if we're moving into game 3.
Well, I saw no handshake. I saw no handshake.
Okay.
It looks like Matthew is.
And maybe they're just not on good terms.
Oh, come on. These guys look friendly.
They do. Oh, there's a chuckle.
There we go. So yeah, we're gonna be moving into game 3 here. So I mean, my zombie deck, my blue-black zombies has, let's see, sideboard obviously boarded in a Mimic Vat, which seems insane in the mirror. Phyrexian Obliterator ×2 also seems quite good. 3 Birthing Pods in the mirror, potentially bringing those in so you can do a little bit of zombie pod action, a sort of Feast and Famine. 2 Vile Rebirth, which of course are going to be able to remove Gravecrawlers and be able to remove Grouse Messenger when the Undying triggers on the stack, so those are going to find some use. And then I lack the experience with Killing Wave and seeing how good it is in zombie mirrors, but I know that Nick has 6 Blood Artist type effects, so that's going to make Killing Wave better. It just depends on if he's going to want them in this matchup.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I might not go with the Killing Waves, mostly because they're sort of a little high variance. Like, it's not going to help you in the games you're losing.
Sure.
Which can be really problematic. But other than that, I actually really like Nick's list. I think we have some very interesting cards for the archetype. Like, the Nobles are obviously, like, a little unconventional, but he's also got Bloodthorn Vampire, which has been catching on and is very good. And his sideboard, like, those Vile Rebirths, those seem spicy.
Yeah, if you know you're going to be coming here playing against zombies, like assuming that you're going to have to play zombies 2 or 3 times in the tournament, like, that's like a huge mirror trump.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people like to go with Nihil Spellbomb, which I think Matthew has, like, a couple in his sideboard.
Yep.
But I don't know, I feel like Vile Rebirth is, like, given the 2 options, I feel like Vile Rebirth is the better of the 2 options.
In this matchup, to be sure. The against Runeshanner's Pike Delver decks, obviously there you would prefer the Spellbomb, but if you're coming here for the Zombie Mirror and that's like what you're trying to target, then I definitely would want to go with the Vile Rebirths. On Matthew's side, his sideboard includes Pillar of Flame ×2, which I imagine he'll be bringing in, Crypt Creeper ×2.
Okay.
Creep a couple crypts.
Yep, I mean, same function as Vile Rebirth, of course.
Except the 2-power creature goes away when you kill the Gravecrawler instead of
I get a 2-power creature. Yes, Trump.
I suspect that after seeing Vile Rebirth in action, Matthew may change his sideboard slot over.
Yeah, given the options between Crypt Creeper and Vile Rebirth, yeah, I think I would want Vile Rebirth in that spot.
And Go for the Throat is the other card that I could see him bringing in. Killing creatures at 1-for-1 is surprisingly not that awesome in the zombie matchup, but when you're racing, it can be pretty good. And given that Matthew lost game 2, he'll be on the play, which means he's more likely to want to initiate a race.
Sure. So it'll be interesting to see. As much coverage as I have done, and I did Las Vegas, and I'm doing this tournament as well. I don't really think I've seen like 1 zombie mirror, and it was a black-red on black-red zombie mirror. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a black-blue versus black-red because black-red zombies has been winning most of the tournaments, and so black-blue zombies has kind of died off. Everyone's just kind of, using the black-red zombies as their shell. Here we have a player who's having success with black-blue zombies. He's X1 in the tournament, basically playing for top 8 right now. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these decks is favored in what is basically a mirror match.
Yeah, although 4-2 decks that are so similar, they really have like a surprising number of divergences.
Yeah, they definitely are different decks, even though they look to accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, I think they like use a lot of the same tools and just have like very different machines. It's kind of how it looks to me. As
we see a Diregraph Ghoul for Matthew versus a Gravecrawler for Nick. I like Nick's encroachment.
I know. He's taking the space.
He's taking complete dominance of the table.
This is my zone.
Yep.
Your zone's over there.
That's correct. We're going to see a Fume Spitter here. Oh, he pushed him up a little bit.
Pushed him up a little bit, yeah. You got to get in there.
It's important that you assert yourself.
Yep.
And you let your opponent know where you stand.
Pushing in.
It's something that a lot of people, that my friends in the Seattle PTQ scene do. They'll slowly encroach. They're not as immediate as this, but they will encroach.
We've definitely played the game where it's just to see how far you can move your cards before they notice or
Absolutely.
do something about it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
As we see a Gravecrawler and a Fume Spitter post-combat. So, I mean, both players have come out of the gates pretty well here. Now, of course, anyone who's played zombies, and let alone a zombie mirror, knows that the most important card in the deck and in the mirror is Dross Messenger. So it'll be interesting to see if either player does have that on turn 3.
Nick has one in his hand. I'm not sure if he has the 3rd mana.
Okay. As we see an attack here.
Matthew's hand, clearly a little weaker than Nick's thus far, but he does have the advantage of being on the play, which means that all Nick has really done with his additional copy of Gravecrawler is restore parity rather than seize an edge.
As we see Fume Spitters looking to trade.
Yeah. I think you pretty much like always do this block because you just don't want your opponent getting to decide what they Fume Spitter.
Yeah.
Like, if they want a Fume Spitter, they can do it now and leave their point of damage at home.
Yes. Yeah. If you Fume Spitter, I'll Fume Spitter. If you don't Fume Spitter, I won't Fume Spitter. That's fine. It looks like Matthew passes priority.
Yep. Both players.
Both players are
kind of stare down.
Yeah, they're like kind of fidgety. They're like, if you move, I move, man.
Oh.
And we're gonna see a post-combat. I believe that is a Crypt Keeper.
Yep, that's a Crypt Keeper. So that is definitely not as good as a Dross Messenger. And Drowned Catacomb means Nick's gonna seize a huge lead on this board right now.
We will see Gravecrawlers get in here most likely.
Yep.
And then Dross Messenger post-combat, but he is going to think his turn through, which means he probably has some other options available to him.
One of the things I like the most about Gravecrawler is that you can't misplay with that card, man. It can't block.
It can attack, though. It can attack.
It can attack. No tricks. This one.
This Gravecrawler in. He plays one way. And we are going to see... Ooh.
Oh, we did not play our Messenger. We went ahead and played a Blood Artist. I guess we have Vile Rebirth also, or something? Oh, we have another Gravecrawler. Okay. I think this plays fine. I'm not nuanced enough in the zombie mirrors to know if it's better or worse than the Messenger play. If you suspect your opponent might have Pillar of Flame, I think I like it better.
You know, I like establishing Blood Artist, you know, as fast as you can to try to get a lot of value out of it, but at the same time, you know, I don't think, given on turn 3, like, given the options, like, because Messenger comes into play tap, so it's not going to have the opportunity to block, I think you want to get it established as fast as you can, especially if you start drawing your clone-type effects of Phantasmal Image and Phyrexian Metamorph.
Yeah. Interestingly, the fact that Matthew didn't have a turn 3 Messenger may have been what incentivized Nick to play this slightly slower route, because he didn't have to match it.
And now we have a Messenger.
Now we do.
And see, now I feel like a little bit that Nick is on the back foot when I think that he was the one that was like on the initiative.
I agree.
And then his choices on last turn, and because Matthew was able to draw a Messenger, now he's on the defensive, but it's not like he can block.
Yeah.
Because he has all these Gravecrawlers in play.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he tried to seize something there and it just didn't pan out.
As we see Phantasmal Image come down for Nick, copying your Dross Messenger.
This is a nice one because he's going to attack, be threatening lethal on the next turn, and he has Vile Rebirth as a surprise blocker should Matthew attempt to try and kill Nick.
Okay.
I think that this worked out because we hit that image, but I do think that we gave Matthew an opening to basically peel out when we went with the Blood Artist Gravecrawler play, perhaps.
I agree with that.
So...
As Matthew is looking at 5, Nick is looking at 11. Matthew is representing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. 7 points of damage on the board, which would be an attack to put him down to 4. But if he can, I'm not sure, based on what's in his hand, he only has 2 cards in his hand, if he can get the last 4 points of damage through.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to come down to the wire with one player just shy, basically. At the moment, I want to say that player is Matthew Wakamatsu, but...
He's shuffling 2 through. Okay, that's another Crypt Keeper.
It's probably not going to change the game enough here. I feel like the turning point in any of these matchups is when you leave creatures untapped, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the person who leaves creatures untapped first is just in bad shape, and this time... Oh!
Yeah, it's kind of like admitting, like the turn that you can't attack, it's like admitting defeat. It's just like, all right, go, I guess.
You got me.
Yeah. And we're going to see the Vile Rebirth that you spoke of, removing a creature.
Yep.
And I mean, he could sack a Crypt Keeper to stop that, but it accomplishes the same thing, basically.
Yes.
either I'm going to get a 2/2 or you're going to lose one of your guys. So
Looks like
I know
we're
that you guys
considering some kind of response.
This is going to be a response here.
He may be thinking about the Crypt Creeper option now.
I know that you guys can't see off screen, but on Matthew's side, the card that's hard to see with the glare is a Crypt Keeper. There's a Drawless Messenger, a Diagraph Ghoul, and then off the screen a little bit below is another Crypt Keeper.
Yep.
Now, Nick, I mean, Zombies only does one thing, as we know. It's brains, brains, brains.
Yep.
So, as you said, the turn that they have to stop attacking is not good, and Nick is not stopping attacking.
No. 11 life? Ha.
Yeah.
Never felt safer.
Yeah,
What's this guy, can't block? Well, I guess I know what he's doing.
And so for Matthew, and we know that Nick is sandbagging another Drawless, his first copy of the Drawless Messenger.
Yes.
The image copied Matthew's. So I believe, unless Matthew has something pretty good in his hand, it seems like it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah. This is going to be real grim. If he blocks the image, then obviously he'll take an additional 2 anyway. Looks tough.
Lining up his blockers here. It's just a tough situation because, again, the image is going to come back as a Drawless Messenger, and then he has Drawless Messenger in his hand. So, I mean, he only needs to get what looks to be a point of damage through.
Knowing the messenger is in his hand, I don't think it's possible for. Is there a block that like doesn't just kill Matthew? I don't think there is.
I think like the only block that has it so that he doesn't die is the Crypt Keeper blocks the Phantasmal Image copy, and then he sacks it so that the image doesn't die.
Sure.
I think that's one thing that would get him out of the situation. But even if like that's just buying him time, I don't think that's going to win.
It's not
him
a play
the
that's
game.
going to win the game. It's just going to lose it a couple turns later.
Yeah, is what I think is going to happen.
I hate those plays. They always annoy
frustrating plays. That image should be coming back as he throws on the table. That's a stylistic throw. The Drawless Messenger is Nick Vincent with black-blue zombies, not black-red. My zombies, I have the deck list in the hand, wins 2-1. And conceivably,